All right, in the last episode, we looked at calculating a simple payback. Now let's take a look at a discounted payback. And I left the example up from before. The one thing I did add was the rate we have, the required rate of return. Right? So the rate is going to be 7%. Now, the problem in doing this is that each of these payments out here is not really worth $3,000 today. It's the nominal value is $3,000, but the real value to me is less than that. So I need to discount them. What I'm going to do is put a line under here of all the discounted ones. So I'm going to redo this cash flow, basically. Well, this one's equal to that one. The initial outlay of this period, $10,000 out today is worth $10,000 today. But this is next year. And I want to know what the present value of that is today. So it's going to be my rate. Notice again, I named the cell, so it's easy to find and understand. It's only one period out. I have no payments. I just have the future value, which is equal to this guy. Now, I didn't name it intentionally because I'm going to copy this value along. I'm going to make this number negative. That sort of violates my principle of money coming in is negative, but I'm going to change it so that the present value becomes positive. So, on all of these, I'm going to get rid of that decimal so that we can see the full 9,000. Okay. Well, I can take this one and copy it to these. So this 9,000 out here is only 8,000, and the 3,000 is 2,800. Why are these both 20? Here's the thing you should look. Oh. Again, does it make sense? Notice these are both 28, but this is a year out. Why should that be? Right. Well, it's because I used the same number of periods. I always used one period. In here, I have to use 2 periods. In here, I have to use 3 periods. In here, I have to use 4 periods. And in this one, I have to use, well, you can't see it's off the end here, but I'm going to put a 5 in here. Now it makes sense. Again, I have all these numbers to see if they make sense. $3,000 3 years out should not be the same as $3,000 4 years out. So that was a problem. If I'd been a little smarter when I do it, I might have had a row up on top that had the year. And then I could just, instead here of putting this number of periods, I could just point to the cell up above. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, if you get it, that's good. If you don't, this works. But now I calculate my payback period the same way. I start with an outlay. It's going to be, get rid of this now. My initial outlay is this. I'm going to use all the present value rows. What do I have after I do that? Well, I'm going to take this one and I'm going to add now the present value of this number. I'm still 8,000 in the hole. Somehow it's changed formatting on me, so we'll just stay the same. And I'll get rid of those decimals just to make it easier to read. I'm going to take this guy now, and now I can contribute another $3,000 coming in. Wow. The wonders never cease. It's this one plus this one. Okay. Again, I'd be very surprised if I went from 8,000 to positive with just 3,000. Keep looking. I've always said that I can always serve as a bad example, and this certainly has a lot of bad examples in it. But you can learn from that stuff, I hope. All right, next year. This is year 3. I've got that, and I'm to still cover, and I'm going to add in this cash flow. Now I'm still in the hole. I'm going to take this one. So I'm going to take that value, and now I add in the cash value of this year, the present value of that, and notice I break even, but only by $100. Not as much as I would have liked. So, how do I do this? Well, I do it this. I calculate the fraction. So I'm going to have a payback period of 3 years plus some fraction of this year. My fraction is equal to, where is it? This number that I needed to cover in that last year, divided by that number. And I wish I would have done the format all the way down. And in here, I'm going to actually need more decimals just to see it. So it's almost, as you can guess, 100 out of 2,200 is almost a full year. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Right? I need almost a full year. It's not the 100. It's the 2188 out of this. It's almost a full year. All right. Boy, has this been a lot of bad examples. So this one is now equal to 3 years, right? And again, I'll subtract the negative 3.96 and increase the decimals so we can see what we're talking about. A payback period. Well, that was a lot more difficult than I thought it had to be, but hopefully you will learn from the mistakes and not make the same mistakes that I just did. All right. To kind of summarize, I take the discounted values for each of these numbers, and I calculate the payback period exactly the same way, and probably with the same mistakes. Okay, if you have questions, you know you can always ask.